Tavo from the Quilting Bee in Massillon, Ohio, and I am here today to share with you my inner sanctum. A couple of months ago, I think it was, Amanda said she's had requests to see how I have things arranged up here. And I said, okay, I will do that as soon as I get a few projects finished so it's not quite in the disarray that it was at that time. Unfortunately, I have not gotten all those projects completed, so there is still a degree of disarray, but we are leaving in a few days to go north and gotta do it. So this is the little tour of my inner sanctum. The space I have was a second-story porch, and the previous owners, though, enclosed it. But what it did, it gave a full wall of windows, which is fabulous for me because it's all that wonderful natural light coming in, and I hardly ever have to turn on the overheads. So this is my inner sanctum. I have arranged it in different areas based on my interests. I paint, I design and cut out of wood Christmas ornaments that I then paint. So I needed a space for that. I do cartonnage, which is the box making, and I designated an area for that. Of course, collage, which I am really into with both feet and 5 arms. That needed an area. And then there's my quilting and sewing areas. So that's how the space is divided up, and it works beautifully. So assuming I can do a video with me holding the camera, you will see what I'm talking about. I have opened up the cabinet that houses my paints so you can see how that piece of furniture is used, because this is the area where I paint. And so my paints are right here ready, and I have drawers that house other supplies, brushes, and my tracing paper, anything that I might need for the making of the ornaments. Beside the painting area is my cartonnage, and all of the supplies and that sort of thing, tools that I need, are found in this area. I have drawers that house some of the supplies and tools, so it works very well for me, and it is right below my fabric. And what's good is when I'm working on a cartonnage, I have to have usually 2, if not 3, coordinating fabrics. So this is the resource that I go to. My fabric, I usually only get fat quarters. So once I have cut into a fat quarter, I take what's left and wrap it around. I think this is 5.5, or maybe it's 6.5 by 9, 6.5 by 9. And that is what all of these are. If I can get it around a 6.5 by 9, it goes on this lower shelf with its companions of that color grouping. Once it will no longer wrap around that size, I go to my 4 by 5, and that's what this piece is going to be going around. And that is the upper shelf. Those are smaller pieces that are still able to be seen, arranged by color. Let me take one down. And so they look like this. That's one of my purples. Actually, I have two purples, so this is one of two purples. The size is determined by the size of the shelf. That's what determined the size of this, and what baskets could I find that would fit here, what size would they accommodate. And then the upper shelf is projects and some storage. As I turn, we're then looking at a shelving unit, just some very similar. Well, in fact, I think it is the exact unit that we have in the shop, where I have my fat quarters that have not been used in any manner yet, my books and patterns, the few pieces of yardage that I have. I only buy yardage when it's for a special project, and so I brought down, I think it was 3 different projects this year. Have not yet gotten to them, so I will take them back north and see if I can get to them there. And right next to that is my collage area. Currently on my design board is part of the little old lady who lived in a shoe. It's a new pattern we have in the shop. It is a foundation panel, but I have elected to do part of it using the parchment pressing technique. So that's what's currently on my design board, is the lower portion of the shoe with the beginning of some of the bush that's in front of that shoe. My collage fabric, and I call it collage fabric because it is pieces of fabric that has already been applied to the light steam seam. Once I do that, it goes in its appropriate drawer for use in a collage. So these are those plastic storage units that you can buy, and Philip has taped them together for me so they roll 2 by 2, which is very nice. So there's those 2, and I have the 2 over here. And here you can see I have my greens according to value, light, medium, and dark, for this shrub that I'm in the process of doing. So that's my collage. The table that it's on came from a consignment shop. Love those consignment shops. Coming on around from the collage area is another find from a consignment shop. And this chest just houses, some sewing supplies, some fabric, things like the kits, the charm squares and that sort of thing, and batting once I've cut into it. So that's sort of a general storage unit, and it has on its top some of the cartonnage boxes. This pin cushion that I had thought we would do it's Goody's pin cushion. Thought we would do a workshop on till I made it. Okay, enough said about that. And then the wall houses a few of the pieces that I have done down here, some of which are similar to what you might see up north in the shop. So that is that space, and we will come around to my sewing machine. Beside my sewing machine, I have this little sort of a half card table because I like having a surface where I can lay things. You see I have a small cutting mat on it. There are times I bring a little ironing pad over to the other end, but it's just where I can have things laid out in preparation for going onto the machine. Below it are all of my design boards that I can use for blocks and whatever I might need. And then of course my machine, and beside it on the other side is the little storage unit that has the drawers to house all of the sewing machine supplies, the feet, the threads, my quilting gloves, and my sample or my sandwiches. Oh, couldn't think of them. Before I do any quilting, I always do a small sandwich to get my rhythm going. All those extra component parts that come with the machine today that I'll probably never use, but they're in one of the drawers just in case. And then of course this handy dandy little roll away that has other things that I want to have just at hand when I'm at the machine. And then we have my design wall. It is not a large design wall because when you have one wall of windows and another wall of cartonnage, you don't have many walls left. So this was the best we could do, and actually, to be honest with you, it's all I need. What's up there now are the 13 Riley Blake challenges that we've done so far. So that's my design wall, and it works well for me. Below it is my larger cutting table, and right now it is housing the little old woman in the shoe. Let me move around here, and you can see the portion I have finished. What I'm working on right now on the design board is this lower part of the shoe and the shrubs. They will be applied once I am finished with it. So, but if I can get this out of our way, this is really where I do most of whatever, if it has to do with sewing or quilting, because this is a clear surface. It has all of my rulers, and it also has my shoebox. I mentioned this in one of the videos. If I have a piece left over after trimming or after cutting that I can use in a quilt as you go, I just throw them in here and they're ready for the next little project that might be able to use them. These are waiting to be finished. My parrot that I'm not pleased with, so he's waiting quite a while. And I am working on a Christmas, I think it would be a Christmas hanging or a throw, whatever. I have 2 more to do, and then of course I'll have to put them together. But hope to have this ready in the shop by the end of June. So these are projects that are still looking for some closure. Closure is a wonderful word. So that is it. That is my inner sanctum. Here it is from this position. Not the most organized, but it works for me. Hope this helps you do some planning of your own. Thanks for watching.